In today's video, I'm going to be going over different Schwarzkopf colors that I use for gray coverage, when I use them, why I use them. And it's going to be a mini course on just gray coverage in general. So if you are interested, you might want to stick around for this one.
So I'm just going to preface this before the video begins. This is not a color formulation video. It's more of a product information video. We'll be getting more in depth later on, but for there, this is just product information. I am creating an online course for gray coverage. Please drop a message if you are interested in that.
So let's get into it. This is Schwarzkopf's gray coverage. This is for resistant gray. I tend to use this color a lot when I'm working behind the chair. It's because I don't really need to think a whole lot. When I grab this tube, I pretty much know what's gonna happen. I use this with people that are like 50% more gray, and I do like to mix this. The factory recommend is to use a 30 volume when mixing with this gray coverage because the pigment load is very dense. I do use this. Now, if you are using this on somebody that is 80% gray or more, you can use 20 volume. So you can grab your 20 volume, put that on with the 600, and it's gonna get you pendable gray coverage. Next favorite color that I like to use when you're doing gray coverage with neutrals. If you have somebody that is, 50% or more, and they have like finer hair, this is gonna give you 100% gray coverage. For gray coverage, 6-0. I do use this a lot, especially on my finer haired people, and if they still want 100% gray, but I don't necessarily wanna hit them with the big guns, I will just use this. If they are 50%, this is the basics for gray coverage. I can spend hours on this particular subject, but for now we're just gonna do the basics. We've got our Schwarzkopf gray coverage line. This is gonna give you 100% gray coverage. This is also going to give you 100% gray coverage, but it's not gonna work as well if the person's hair is extremely resistant. So I do tend to use this on finer hair guests, and I do like the results. Now, typically when I am working with somebody that has about 50% gray and more of their hair, I will tend to just kind of stick with the gray coverage line. If their hair, like I said, is finer, I'll go with this. But then you do need to start formulating for that gray coverage. And that will be like another video that I tackle later. But for now, we're just sticking with the basics. Let's just say I've got somebody that is doesn't really care about the gray coverage as much and kind of likes a softer, more highlighted look to their gray. I will grab the TBH. Now this also gives about 70% gray coverage. So basically what it's going to do, it's going to cover the hair, but it's gonna work, and it works really nice. All of these colors that I'm talking about are mixed 1-to-1. So you're gonna mix this like 1 part color to 1 part peroxide. And what you're gonna do is when I do use this particular color, I use it on my people that are not neurotic about their gray coverage. They don't mind having a little bit of variation going on the top. In fact, they actually like it because it sort of gives them that highlighted look without having to go crazy and highlight it as well. I have used this a lot with my guests that tend to have an ammonia allergy. So if they have problems with ammonia, the way that they created this hair color, the chemistry behind it is designed so that a good portion of the population can use this without having an allergic reaction. So I do like this for that reason. I tend to use this color a lot. There is half the amount of ammonia in this color as opposed to this one, but typically the Schwarzkopf Royal has about 1 to 3% ammonia, where this one has like a 0.5% of ammonia. So it's not gonna give you the same amount of gray coverage, but I have found a lot of success with this, and I do typically use it on a level 8 or a level 9 if I want my ladies to get there. So I have found a lot of success. Now, let's get into Vibrance and their Vibrance gray coverage. When I do gray coverage with Vibrance, I don't have Vibrance 6-00. That is their gray coverage line. And when I mix it 1-to-1, and I use 13 volume. Now, when I use this line, the gray coverage line, I use it typically on girls that have darker hair. So I've tested this color out on a lot of different people. Now, if I have somebody that really doesn't want any ammonia at all whatsoever, you can use the Essensity line. I have used the Essensity line. I like it, but I also love this product because it gives a really pretty glossy finish. And a lot of times when I'm working with somebody that wants like a more natural finish, I will grab for this. This is very similar to the TBH, except this gives a lot more shine than the TBH does. This is a more natural finish.
The Vibrance is a more glossy finish, and that is why I like it. It gives a really soft coverage to the gray, which is a very nice grow out.
So I have used Vibrance on a level 7, level 8 in gray coverage, and those are like, they cover the hair really well. Again, it's a 70%. I typically will switch over to this because I feel that this line in the lighter shades does a better job of coverage over the Vibrance. But if somebody really hates ammonia and doesn't want anything to do with it at all whatsoever, I'll just stick with this. I know that they have the Essensity line. I'm not as familiar with that one. I use it, I've used it, but I've switched a lot of my people to the TBH. And my bonus tip for this, I hope you liked that video, and if you did, can you please smash the like button and subscribe? I make weekly videos. Hey, and if you liked this video, come back next week because I'm gonna be foiling with gray coverage, the tricks and the tips that I use for gray coverage with foils. So, I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you again next time.